What's up, YouTube? I'm so excited to be back. I have spent the last couple months over on Instagram trying to grow, trying to get some traction, and now that it's kind of moving, I figure what better time to bring YouTube back into the mix. So without any further ado, today's video is going to be my husband practicing nails because he said it couldn't be that hard. And I jokingly offered for him to fix my finger and he agreed. And he was actually really good at it. After I got done being offended by that little fact, I realized what an opportunity that was for me. So now he's gonna be my nail tech. He just doesn't know it yet, but we gotta keep him practicing. That's what today's video is going to be about. So if you're interested, go ahead and keep watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Any form of engagement is good. So if you're a troll and you wanna leave some negative, hateful comments, go right ahead. It doesn't bother us at all. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the video.
We're going to start with an 80 grit file. We're just going to gently go around the edges and fix up.
I don't think you have it clicked in all the way.
What's in all the way?
What shape are you going for?
I'm just going to keep this shape.
Okay, so square.
Keep a nice squared off tip because that is easier to align things off of. We're just going to take off the manufacturing burrs.
See, it looks like you're going more for a school bowl.
I guess
You're angled in quite a bit.
I'm just trying to take off the burrs. And then just go like that. You gotta brush it.
So on a person, you wouldn't use that brush, just so you know.
Oh, well, that was the brush you had sitting there. I guess you use this brush.
I used that brush.
Okay, so we take that brush. Bam.
Okay, so now
That's
do you
a
see
nice
how
shape.
it's all shiny?
Yep.
Gel doesn't stick to shiny.
We don't want it to be shiny, do we?
Correct. You don't want to use an 80 grit if that's, like, we're pretending this is a natural nail. So that's when you would grab your e-file. There you go. And remember that mandrel? Nope. Remember the mandrel with the sanding band? You'll want to use that bit. There you go. Alright, here's your sanding. That's a medium. You always want to, nope. That's how you break the chuck. You always put that on second. That's how you break the chuck.
Not when it's all the way in the base of the chuck.
You do. It's not recommended to do that.
Well, that's really weak.
And on the natural nail, you only go up to about a 4 or 5. Because that creates a lot of, 4 or 5. Because that creates a lot of heat when you don't do it. There you go. So now you're at a 4. And your goal is just to remove the shine. You're not trying to take any nail away. You're just trying to remove the shine. Plenty good.
I don't like it.
Remember, we're not trying to make it smooth because you're putting stuff on top.
It's not right.
Okay. That's somebody's natural nail. They can feel all of that.
Now that's right.
Okay.
You gotta start with a poor base, then you're always gonna have a poor base.
Alcohol with your brush.
That looks much better.
Okay, so now that you just put your finger on it, you have to wipe it again because you just put all the oils from your finger on there. So if you were working on somebody, I would always recommend wearing gloves. But my gloves won't fit in your fingers, so.
Alright.
Okay, so now you're going to go in with your primer.
I'm gonna go in with the whiskey.
Oh, okay. Primer next. And with primer, less is more.
I remember.
Okay.
I've watched your videos, believe it or not.
Okay.
A little more than that. That looks good.
job. So usually you want to do long strokes. Doing short strokes like that makes a lot of bubbles when you talk about using gel. There you go. Okay, that's plenty.
Need a little more.
You really don't need more.
There's 2 dry spots.
That's okay.
And dry spots are bad spots. You can eliminate bubbles, in my opinion, by doing short strokes and then doing long strokes to pull the bubbles out.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's not how it works?
No.
And now what?
Okay, so now, did you want to use the clear in the bottle, or did you want to try it out of a bottle?
Bottle with a brush
Okay.
is better. Out of that bottle was scary the last time.
Okay, so this is your slip layer. Do you remember what a slip layer is?
It's a layer that allows for slippage.
Pretty much, yep. It's right in the name. And gel goes where gel already is. And so if you get some on the skin, you want to make sure you wipe it all away, because gel's going to gravitate there naturally.
So don't get it on the skin in the first place.
Correct.
You won't have to worry about that.
Correct. Well, you mean business, you got the tongue out.
If you're going to focus, you might as well focus. There's a little bit on the tip there I don't like.
Okay, so you want to stick, do you want to stick with using this? Because you can use this. That's the same thing that's in here.
Yeah.
This one is just easier to get the product on the nail, I think.
I like that a little better. I feel like I'm a little more in control
Okay.
than just dumping a ton of it.
But you don't have any structure right now. So you have to go in and you have to add more structure.
I know, I was just trying to
Okay.
fix the edging.
Okay.
Because the edging is not right. And if it's not right from step 1, then why even continue? You might as well just start over. Now that looks a lot better than it did a minute ago.
I'll just leave this over here again as I drop the light.
And now to give it structure, you want to add.
If you take a big dollop, nope, you don't want to wipe off your brush. I'm gonna put the heavy side down. There you go.
I don't like that.
Can I show you something?
Kind of like that.
That's gonna break. If that was somebody's natural nail, that would break.
Oh.
That's not nearly enough. So the way I do it is I wipe off one side. Maybe load the brush up. So when you pull it out like this, you're wiping off one side, twist the bottle, and then you can scoop. And then there's a lot more on there. And the great thing about gel is you can just set it in the middle and just pull it through, and now you've got a big bead there that you can either let do its own thing and self-level on its own, or you can use that brush, the liner brush, and pull it to where you want it to be. But see how it's already self-leveling on its own?
So you don't really have to do anything with it at all.
That's why I like gel so much. So you can flip it over too if you think it needs more of an apex.
Move that finger and then just...
Nope, turn the whole hand. And then flip it so that way gravity is working. So there you go, just like that.
Well, I guess we want it to be flat to gravity, don't we?
Right.
So something like that.
Yep. And it really doesn't take long. Like I would probably check it now.
Here, rotate your hand in a weird fashion.
See that line of light, how it looks nice and straight?
Yeah, well there's a divot right there.
Is there? Okay, I can't see it from my side.
Because I was holding it tip down.
You were, yep. Gravity was working against you there.
So we just pull it back up while holding the nail level.
And that's another moment too where you can use gravity. Just make sure when you're moving it, grab it by the hand as opposed to
by the finger.
Yeah, because that skin falls off. That sounds weird, but the skin falls off.
So just let that set for a second right there. Give it 2 or 3 seconds. Sip of whiskey time. Good whiskey.
Okay, I would look at it. It's been upside down for quite a while. What do you think?
I kind of like it.
Okay, let's put it in the light then. Okay, so you just pulled it out of the light. What do you think of it? Do you think it needs to be filed? Think you could do some refining, or do you want to leave it as is? It's totally up to you.
I mean, I like it.
Just remember, you don't want to touch it.
Oh.
Because any oil from your hands is going to be stuck on there, and then when you go through with the gel polish, it's going to peel away from that spot. Plus, touching gel with your bare hands is never a good idea.
Oh, didn't know that.
That's bad for allergies.
I mean, it looks like it needs a little bit of filing around the tip here, especially over on this side.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that then. So before you do that, you want to wipe off, it's called an inhibition or dispersion layer with alcohol. Because that'll gum up your file. There you go. Good job.
There's no such thing as too much alcohol. It's a little abrasive or rough at the end of the nail there.
That's easy to fix. Make sure you get the top all the way clean too. That's what's more important because there's no product on the underside. So there's nothing there that you need to wipe off yet.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're happy with that, leave that out of your way. I'm going to take your file. And now, I like to teach that there's 4 to 5 points of filing contact. So you want to start with your sides first. Particularly right here on your underside, the lower arch.
So like from the underside like this?
Yep. And you want to keep your file parallel to the nail. Yep, just like that. Yep.
Like this? Okay.
And then you're going to kind of push up a little bit. And you want to make sure that you're not angling it too much because if you do, you're going to dig in right here and it's going to create a divot right where the nail meets the skin.
Yes.
So you want to hold it as parallel to the nail as you can. And that's just going to clean up that free edge on the underside of your lower arch.
So keep it on plane.
Yep.
So you want to keep it plain and plumb?
Yep. And you have the whole length of the file. Don't be afraid to use the whole length of it, okay? There you go. Now, remember, you said you wanted to go square, so you don't want to pull it down and angle it in at the end.
Well, it already has a bit of a rounded shape at the end there,
Okay.
so. Just go like that. Like this, so there's no burrs or sharp edges.
Let me show you how to get that. So
I got it.
there's an easier way.
And then you file under. Bring it around. Bring this one around. It's the same as sharpening a knife. And you just brush it off.
Okay, so now I want you to look at it from the side. Does it look straight to you?
It does kind of angle down at
Yep.
the tip. So to fix that, you just kind of
Yep.
rip the...
Gently though, you have to remember that's somebody's finger.
I'm used to sharpening knives. Sharpening knives, it doesn't... That looks good.
Okay, and then you want to check it for the other side. Everything you do to one side, you want to make sure you do to the other.
Now you got to make sure both edges are clean.
Right. And then I think the thing that sets some nail techs apart from others is understanding that you have to look at it from your client's point of view, because things change drastically from where you're looking at it like this to where they're looking at it like this.
Yes. Well, I already
So-
see a problem.
The easiest way to do that is to flip the hand around.
Like, you got to brush off the dust.
You do?
'cause
Yep, you want to keep your work area clean.
the dust makes you think something that is not actually there.
Yep.
And from sharpening a knife and woodworking, you look at it, and then if you flip it around like this, flip the nail up.
So that's what the client sees. Looks a lot different from your angle, right?
I need to do a little more filing because that is not as pretty as I thought it was.
Exactly. I think we've all been there. Now, are you trying to do the top of it right now?
Mm-hmm.
You can angle your hand a different way so that way you're going like this rather than across.
Well, I don't want to... I guess it isn't metal, it's plastic. So you're not pulling material, you're taking material.
Correct.
So when you're working with metal, you're pulling material. Whereas this, it's...
You're only taking away, you're not moving it.
Yeah, you're not moving material around in the same way as sharpening a knife. I like it.
Okay.
But you gotta brush it because all that little dust and stuff makes you think you like it, and then you don't actually. I still don't like it. I guess we're doing oval. And
Is that what we're doing now?
I guess that's what we're doing now because
Good.
that's what we ended up with. I like that. That
Okay.
looks nice.
So go ahead and turn her back over.
I don't think you do that to a real hand.
You do, you just make sure that the thumb side is moving, not the pinky side.
That felt a little violent.
Okay.
I like that.
So now that we've wiped off the top, what we have to do is we have to go in and add texture to that. Because remember, gel doesn't like to stick
Can
to
I wipe
anything
it?
that's shiny.
Can I wipe it with alcohol one more time? Now that I've
can.
touched everywhere.
Yeah, but you're going to have to wipe it again anyway.
Oh, well, I just
If that makes you feel better, sure.
want to wipe it because it's covered in dust and stuff.
Okay. You're about to put more dust on it. There you go. You can push that in even further. It should disappear into the nail.
Oh,
See how much better that looks just pushing it in?
that actually, yeah, that looks legit
Okay,
now.
so that's just a buffer. Obviously, because it's a practice finger, none of it is new. That would be wasteful to use a new one for each one.
Yeah.
So this side is going to be more abrasive. I think that's 120. And I think the other side was like 180, maybe 200.
Sure.
Like I said, it's not new. That's too abrasive.
Yeah, this side is a 120.
So now you're going to go over the top of the nail. And you want to go in with the more abrasive side.
With the 120. It's got a little bit of score on it. That looks good.
You like it?
I do.
Okay. Okay, so now for the, your third ever nail that you've done,
Yes.
you want to challenge yourself by doing a French tip?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay, and you said you wanted a cat eye underneath it as your base color.
Yes, if that's what it's called.
Yep, it's called a cat eye. So go ahead and apply it like you normally would.
Do you have painter's tape?
No.
It's gonna be hard to keep that line square. You're supposed to use painter's tape when you go from one color to the other.
Not
Oh,
quite.
dear.
Not quite.
I might have challenged myself a bit much.
I think you did.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the first layer is a full layer of this, since the white covers it up, but go really thin
So just
towards the tip.
be wary of where it looks like you flooded the cuticle a little bit on that side.
On this side,
Mm-hmm.
I do see that, that little tiny bit
Yep,
of
so that's why
overlap.
you have a cleanup brush over there.
This cleanup brush?
Nope. So see the purple one?
The purple one?
Yep, the bluish purple.
This?
That's the cap. There you go. There's the brush. And I'm gonna take some alcohol.
We'll clean up this side right
Mhm.
here. So I dip into the nail and mess it all up.
That's okay. That's why we're gonna do 2 coats of it, right?
Yes, but then I can take this little one,
Mm-hmm.
because the big brush just means it's more difficult. The little brush gives you the ability to do that fine work. nice and tight to the cuticle, but not touching
Nice
the
and
cuticle.
tight. You do watch my videos.
Well, you want it nice and tight to the cuticle because on a natural nail, it's going to grow.
Every nail grows.
Yeah. Obviously. You have to trim your nails like every week. At least in my case, every single week.
I wouldn't add anymore if that's what you're
No,
thinking.
I'm ditching
Okay.
all of the product off of this brush. So that way I can smooth out the top before we put it under the light.
Okay.
Because I don't need any more on this coat.
Right.
So see, there, now we ditched everything. And then you just use this, do some nice long brush strokes down. And it builds up a little bit.
You have quite a bit at the tip there. There you go.
And then you just take it off the tip. And then
There was a lot of polish on there.
dump that back in. And you kind of lift the nail and lean off to the sides.
Or you could just move the nail, that way you don't kill your back.
Yeah, well, my back is already killed.
Okay, so now we'll cure it.
And then, well, you gotta do the magnet.
Are we okay? You do how you want to do it. I usually do the magnet on the second coat, but that's fine.
You can literally see it all move.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty neat, huh?
That's so cool. I did not know that they made that.
So now it looks like you're loading it to one side. From my angle, at least. Does it look like that to you?
No.
Okay. Does it look centered?
The line is a hair off. Not even a 32nd of an inch. But just go like that, and then it pushes it, and then you just kind of push it back a bit, look at it. That looks centered. I'm calling that center.
Okay. So,
Where's the white?
well, let me make it easy for you.
Yeah. Now you're gonna make it easy for me. So what is?
So that's just a liner gel. Basically, it's just a super pigmented, thicker gel that comes with a liner brush already in the bottle.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to open it, and then you're going to pull off a lot of the product that's coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then run it over that tile there. There you go, just like that. Go ahead and pull it out.
That is a very small brush.
Yes. Well, you said you wanted to do a French dip. So you're going to kind of, let me show you because I don't know how to explain it. So you're going to pull it on the tile just like this while twisting, and that's going to help saturate the brush all the way through.
Okay.
So that way it's not loaded on one side versus another. So you could go in with it just like it is.
Okay. And then make the line first and then draw down from the line, I'm guessing?
I like to find my center point, draw a line, find my side points, and then connect them in the middle, and then fill it in. Does that make sense?
Sure, but I'm just going to make a line straight across.
Okay.
Draw my...
That's a method too.
But if you draw it, you know, a 32nd or a 64th down from where you want the line to be, then if you mess up,
Right.
no problem.
Right.
I can actually see my line right now. That is the worst line I've ever drawn. But that's why you start a bit down. And now we're going to
Yep. Good job anchoring your fingers.
try to get some stability because that was a horrid line. And
You don't really notice it until you're having to do something as detailed as a Frenchie. And if you feel like you need more gel on your brush, go ahead and run it through the gel that's already on your tile.
I need to get you a different color tile because white on white is, I know they're different.
It's easy to see.
I am struggling. I like it, but I don't like that line. But I'm just going to pull it down for now and see how it looks.
You can fill it in with a bigger bottle here. That's a lot easier to do.
This side needs to come up just a hair. And we'll use the top end of the brush because the bottom has too much flex.
So are you making it straight across, or are you gonna...
Oh no, it's straight across.
That's not what a French tip is, though.
What is a French tip? Well, this one's going to be, is it supposed to curve up on each side with the curve of the, okay, following the curve of the
Okay,
finger?
he says.
Oh, great. What did I...
That's a
Fudge.
French tip.
Fudgesicles. All right, we're going to curve it up a bit, but not as much as that. That's... yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to curve it up that much. I guess you're supposed to push.
Nope, you pull.
Pull, not push. Okay. So we'll start. Ooh, that was not a good start.
See, it's hard.
That is a lot more difficult than I had anticipated.
It's a lot more difficult than a lot of people anticipate. If I had a quarter for every time somebody came in and said, I just want to do something simple today, and they're like, French tips! I do not share the same excitement that they do.
I'm going to need something stronger than what I'm currently drinking.
Did they make that?
Yes, they do. It's called moonshine.
Oh.
That is the worst. I mean, that's decent, but it doesn't... Oh no.
Can I help you with the outline? And then you want help?
I got it.
Okay.
It's...
Honestly, your first attempt at a French tip is way better than mine ever was.
I think that corner looks nice. The difficulty is matching it to the other side.
Therein lies the problem.
Because...
Now imagine having to match that across all 10 nails.
Why do you think I agreed to only one? Oh,
Why you agreed to only one?
Yes.
You chose French tips. Because it
Well,
was
you said you...
easy.
I'm going to go for a push technique here.
I find it's easier to set the brush. I think you also need more product. Look at it all over your finger.
Well, you know what? Life isn't perfect, and French tips apparently aren't either.
I'm wipe your finger, okay? It's really... Don't lick it. I saw the thought go through your mind.
Alright, there we go. Finger is fixed. If you can't eat it, what's the point, right?
It's basically plastic. You don't eat plastic.
Everything else we eat probably has oh.
It's up. That happens.
That's horrid. Oh no. Oh no. And we gotta have a nice sharp. Oh, and then I got the cute. Oh. Alright, so that looks good.
French tips are hard.
2 hours later.
That's better.
I don't like that.
Okay. You do you.
I want less. Less is more.
He
Less
says
is...
as he grabs more.
And then we just gently pull it down to the tip.
And sometimes you can see where you need to add more product.
I can see...
When you add the rest of the white in.
I can see where I need to add more product. Yep. I'm going a little light because I would rather add than remove, and now I'm going to add right onto the tip like that. And then I'm going to take this brush that I really like. This one.
Make sure you wipe
like.
out all of the other gel that would be in it, because then it will contaminate your white and you'll have pink in there.
I really like this brush.
That is a good brush.
And like my wife just said, you can see that there was still...
I speak from experience.
Good thing I didn't just go for it. That would have looked really bad.
Yeah, I speak from experience.
And then where I heavily loaded the front end there, I can just pull. Okay, I'm going to push. I really like this brush.
That is a very nice one.
It's I don't even know what brush it is, but yeah, it's
that also is my favorite.
It's easy to use. It's almost smarter than you while you're using it. Like, it makes you feel dumb. It's like, oh, well, that was easier than I thought it was. It's really easy to use.
My very first ever liner brush set was the one that I got while in nail school. Yep. That happens. Okay, so here, we'll get you a cleanup brush.
I'll just use the other end. not gotten better.
I don't do French tips like this anymore, so I don't have a lot of cleanup brushes. But you can use something like this to kind of like swoop it.
You know what I did?
You just made the line higher. That's what I usually do.
Just make it just a hair higher. It doesn't look that good, does it?
Actually, for your very first
That
attempt,
looks horrid. My corners are really bad.
corners are hard. For your very first attempt, I'm super impressed.
Okay. I'm not happy with that. The first looked better, but okay, I see how to fix it. All you got to do is look at it,
And
compare each side a little
I recommend
bit.
always turning it over too, so you see it from the client's point of view. Because what looks straight from your side looks totally wonky from mine.
That's actually a good idea. Before I
It
continue
gives
to...
you some insight into what you actually need to fix. Honestly, that's not bad.
That's terrible.
It's not bad.
No, if you want perfection, just like that, and then you can see the little notch. You just move it.
I would also see how you have kind of a bulb of product right there still?
Yeah.
I would pull that down because that's not going to cure fully.
Well, I was keeping all the stuff at the tip so I could grab a little bit at a time to get the line right, and then you just backfill it. You want to grab that?
Yeah.
It escaped me.
Okay, we're back in business. The brush escaped.
It attempted to run away. Just draw it down in, because you want to get your edge line in first. That's how I've always painted, is you do your edge line first, and then once your edge line is there, you can just move the paint in behind your edge line.
That is definitely one technique. There are lots of different ways to do it. There aren't many rules when it comes to nails, as far as the order in which you go things, for art at least. But to each their own. Honestly, as a beginner, that is actually really good. So remember all those nights when I wasn't home when you thought I would be home because I had a late client? This is usually what happened. Does that make more sense?
Makes a lot of sense, because it's taken me how long on one nail, and
Probably like 10 minutes on one nail.
yeah,
Just for the French tip.
and you've got 5 on each hand.
Are you ready for it to go in the light?
I guess so.
Okay.
See what happens. It doesn't look bad,
For a first try.
but you can
that's
see
really good.
you can see this side is higher
Then that
than
side.
that side, and this side just needs just literally the width of this brush to just come up.
You can add it in if you want to.
I kind of want
It's
to.
not gonna hurt anything. No. Use the brush that you had in your hand.
Can I still use? Okay, sweet. There's still a little bit on there, and I don't really need much.
The reason I say don't use this one is because this is going to put way too much product on, and then you're going to be fighting trying to get rid of it.
This brush doesn't seem to want to pick up the material at all. Oh, there we go. Because it really doesn't need much. It just needs a little bit at the top there to get that angle right. And I mean, even this one needs kind of that point. You see where it's missing? It's missing the point. So I'll start on this side and just get the point. Oh, that looks really nice. bring it a little more closer to the cuticle there. So that way, as the nail grows, if this was a real hand, they'd have a little bit longer before they gotta come back. Because people's schedules are busy and the way work goes, you can't always, you know, get time off to come in to have your nails done. So
it is one reason a lot of people choose Frenchies, is because not only is it traditionally accepted as being a more professional manicure, if you have a very neutral or even clear base color where you have that cat eye,
I need more.
You don't notice the
There's
grow out.
not enough on here.
Right?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just gonna.
That's what I do.
Just like putting pinstripes on a car or a truck. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a bit. You don't need a lot to do the fine details. Good news is, that was too much. So we're gonna pull that off of it because the rest of it's cured. So then we use the other side, which is dry and clean, to just make it disappear. And I picked it up on that side of the brush, and then you rotate the brush around. And look at that.
It actually worked pretty well.
Magically
I didn't
vanishes.
think that would work.
Same as pinstripes. Same as pinstripes on a Chevy truck.
Okay, so we'll put it back in the light then.
Now that we have a bit more whiskey, just a bit, not a lot, just a bit, we can go ahead with top coat. Top coat goes on everything, right?
It does.
Get up there, and you want to get as close to the cuticle as you got with the material that you put onto the nail.
But you don't want to touch the skin.
Yeah, you don't want to touch the cuticle. With some nice long brush strokes to make it nice and smooth. What do you think?
If it were me, what I would do...
Yeah.
Can I show you?
Okay.
So basically it's like working with that base layer of gel again.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your nail.
Mm-hmm.
And you put your slip layer, and now what I would do is just go down the center very gently. There's not enough product on there. And then let that self-level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to help fill in your ridges there. From where, see the top coat?
Mm-hmm.
The shiny there. So that'll help fill it in. And then what you can also do is flip it over like we have with every other step. And let it just do its thing. Self-level.
Nice.